3 years after deadly tornadoes barreled through western Kentucky, leaving a 160-mile path of destruction in its wake, Mayfield residents are resolved to build back better. Charities and nonprofit organizations are still working to help families call a new place home. Mayfield Mayor Kathy Onan talked with me earlier today about how folks realize they didn't know how much they loved their hometown until they nearly lost it. And marking the 3 years since an EF4 tornado claimed 24 lives there and destroyed homes and businesses, Onan says the sober milestone also brings some good news.
We have had some very good news, in fact, for the last 2 years, just about as far as our rebuilding goes. It seems as if the first year we focused on debris removal, which that's the first step to get those lots, all of the community back down to where you can rebuild on them. During that year, home construction began by the nonprofits who have been so amazing. We've had over 200 homes built for the people here who lost their homes on that night. And so that began the first year, as well as some private industry and businesses, local businesses rebuilding. Then the second year for us as the city government, we began our plans for our architects' work on our municipal buildings, as we lost every one of those. And so we have had our public works men are moving right now into their new facility. The new fire station, they're doing the groundwork on it as we speak, maybe foundations being poured pretty soon. And then we've had a groundbreaking on the city hall, a ceremonial one in the police station. And we hope they are in construction by sometime next May.
Yeah. We know that with each anniversary, December 10th, even though you're celebrating some good news and rebuilding, as we spoke about before we started recording, there are lives that are forever shattered, right? And that rebuilding and repair isn't possible with the lives that were lost. How does the community rally during this time?
Renee, I think we draw in on ourselves. We're so supportive of these people. And while throughout the year, we're focused on the rebuilding, we're excited about the rebuilding, but always foremost in our mind are these families of the 24 we lost on that day 3 years ago. We stay in touch with them. There was Pilgrim's Pride here, had the memorial walk again this year. We dedicated 8 new homes on Tuesday for 8 families to get into nice new homes there. So while we celebrate those accomplishments on that day, never far from our mind this week are those 24 precious lives that, as exciting as we get about rebuilding, those holes in those families will never be filled up as they should be. Our town will fill with buildings, but their hearts will not fill over the loss they've had.
When we were there a couple of years ago, one of the things we kept saying was the word hope. Yes. You have it in your office, and there were just these memorial notes with hope and big homemade signs at places that had been devastated. Is that singular word still describe Graves County, Mayfield?
It most certainly does. I think you saw here the metal signs of hope that were on the sidewalks around town. The one downtown in front of the bank is still there. It is there now for 3 years. We center on that. We see it every time we drive through town, and that's what keeps us going. It was a devastating loss, but the rebuilding began the very next morning with the plans of people for their hometown. I think my despair early about the rebuilding, and it didn't last very long, was we've lost everything. Well, we lost what was there then, but because of hope and because of determination and because of the people who love their hometown, that wasn't going to stop them. And the governor has said you're going to have a new town. And I think 3 years down the road, we are certainly making strides in that direction. And I think 2025, our whole downtown's going to be just a big construction mess, a wonderful mess. And that's going to show that we are certainly on this right path to recovery.
Earlier this week, there was a remembrance ceremony and dedication of 8 new homes in Mayfield, as you heard the mayor say. The Team Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund raised more than $52 million to help with the recovery efforts. The National Weather Service says nearly 20 tornadoes touched down across Kentucky during the outbreak, killing 81 people.